This is sometimes what you need though, and it's a bit of a reality check. We've got a lot to learn.
Yeah, I think we got excited about being favourites for about 10 seconds. I think just trying to continue to build on that, so by the end of the season we're playing really high quality basketball.
WNBL Saturday night is back in Townsville at the Fire Pit. It's the hottest ticket in the league at the moment, the Fire. They're their only team to score above 100 this season, having done so twice already in WNBL26 and once already against the UC Capitals back in round 2 at the AIS Arena when they prevailed 105-70. This is a Cap side though with a lot of confidence after a big victory last week over the Sydney Flames. Let's see what they have in store. Liam Ellison here in commentary. Alongside me is Opal's Olympic bronze medalist, WNBL champion Rachel Jarry and WNBL championship winning coach Laurie Chiswick. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Liam. And yeah, you said it, Canberra had that big win last week, but what a better test for where they're at now than playing Townsville in Townsville. And we heard them talk about that last week was the standard for them, so we'll see if they can replicate that tonight.
And I'm looking forward to, we've heard all over the competition, every team talks about you can beat anybody on any given night. So it'll be interesting to see if this is the night that Canberra, that holds true for Canberra, and they can beat the league-leading Townsville Fire.
Let's see if they can take that form into this evening. Jade Melbourne is always the barometer for this side. She caught up with Kate Gaze just a little earlier.
Jade, you said last week that tonight's game will be a bit of a redemption game for you guys from round 2. How do you prepare coming into tonight's game?
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, Townsville came in and embarrassed us on our home floor, and like we know, and rightfully so, they're the best team in the league right now. So great challenge for us, but we had a fantastic week of prep. We know they've got so many weapons, but it's the team basketball that wins them games. So it's not a matter of, you know, stopping certain players. It's about shutting down their whole system. So we'll try to do that tonight, and then hopefully get going on the offensive end, and hopefully in for a good battle.
And the matchups I'm really excited to see tonight are you and Abby Ellis, and obviously your former teammate in Lucy Olsen from the WNBA. How do you see those matchups playing out tonight, and are you excited?
Absolutely. I love all the point guard matchups this year. I mean, Dallas is having a great year. There's Roch, there's Shy that's just come back. Abby, Luce, like they're awesome and they're doing so well for this team. So can't wait. Got ice cream with Lucy last night. So good to catch up with her. But two really good point guards that, you know, won't give me any rest tonight. But I'm excited for the matchup and it'll be a good battle.
Well, we're all really looking forward to it. So good luck tonight, Jade.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Casey.
Jade Melbourne there, always full of smiles, Rachel.
Yeah, absolutely. And she was back to her best last week. We saw her being much more aggressive, and she was on triple-double watch for a while there. So it was great to see her have that mindset. And someone else I'm really looking forward to tonight is Nadia Poch. We've called for her to be more aggressive at the rim, and she has been that the last couple of weeks. So hopefully she can bring that in tonight. And she's just unstoppable when she puts her head down and gets to the basket.
Yeah, she really is. She was a problem getting downhill last game out for Sydney, Nadia Poch. Courtney Woods caught up with Kate Gaze a little earlier, leading from the front this season for the Townsville Fire.
Woody, Canberra will no doubt come out stronger than what they did in round 2. What do you expect to see from them tonight?
Yeah, obviously I think you just kind of look at their roster and they're talented from top to bottom, and I think a coach like Goz, they're definitely going to be a lot more prepared this week. So I think we've done a good job preparing kind of for what we're going to see. So yeah, hopefully kind of when the ball goes up, we're ready to go.
And you have the youngest team in the league. You guys have been winning this season so far and the team to beat. How do you keep this young group focused and have a mindset to keep that winning going?
Yeah, I think kind of with a young team, like especially both our point guards are pretty young, there's going to be ups and downs throughout the entire season. So I think just showing them a lot of support, a lot of encouragement. I think Shannon does a great job of just instilling a lot of confidence in all of his players. But for the most part, we're just trying our best, just trying to do what Shannon tells us, trying to play good basketball, especially at this point of the year. We're trying to have a little bit of fun as well. So it's been good.
Great. Thanks so much, Woody. Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
Courtney Woods leading the league in assists per game, having a wonderful season at home in Townsville, Laurie.
Well, you mentioned assists, and last time these two teams played, Courtney Woods had 14 assists, and one of the players that is the beneficiary of those assists is Mia Sowa, and she's averaging 17 points a game, leading this team, 43%, and she shoots the three-ball, Rachel, with such speed, accuracy, and no fear, which I feel like she excelled at the Gangaroos in the 3x3, and that's really transferred into her 5-on-5 game.
So, sure has, and she has transferred into this Townsville lineup so smoothly, as you noted. Let's get courtside with Kate Gaze with us throughout the night. Kate, welcome.
Hi guys, great to be back at the Townsville Entertainment Centre again. The crowd crowd is here again this week, and they're looking forward to another exciting game. Both teams in the warm-up tonight were very calm, but Canberra have a really confident edge, so I'm really looking forward to what they bring out on the court tonight.
Thanks, Kate. They will come in with some confidence. They'll have to do so, though, without Satina Akuso. It was a short-lived but electric debut from Satina last out.
Yeah, it really was, and now it's unfortunately a bit of a tease for the Canberra Capitals fans, because we saw exactly what she can do and how she can change this lineup, but unfortunately she's out with a leg injury at the moment, and hopefully it's not too long on the sidelines and they can get her back in.
7 points in 3.5 minutes. That's not a bad start.
Says it all. They'll be hopeful for a return next week. Let's see. Capitals away here at the Fire Pit. Great to have you company at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. Here's Morel back into the starting 5 tonight. Poch off the handoff, immediately attacking down the keyway. Great D, though, from Froling in the Fire. Liam Ellison, Rachel Jarry and Laurie Chiswick with you in commentary. An unchanged starting 5 for the Fire tonight.
Yeah, that's, you know, one of the reasons they're so good. They're so steady. As we see, speaking of steady, Alex Fowler, who's just been steady all season, doing her thing this season, just so efficient. But having that starting 5 that doesn't change and then being able to get your 2 imports off the bench, it's just a huge bonus for the Townsville Fire.
They are a well-oiled machine. The Caps fighting inside and get the whistle. The Townsville are top of the table, Laurie, and it means that every game they come in as the hunted.
They certainly do, and teams, they've set the bar very high for themselves and for everybody else in the competition, and they're the ones everybody wants to beat. We know it's only been Southside that have beat them once, so every team comes in with that aspiration.
They'll always get every team's best on any given night. Sissoko strong on the 3. It's sure great to see Sissoko's ready to go and okay to play after a late knock last week, Rachel.
Yeah, she got that knock to the knee, but we saw her smiling and giggling after the game, so it's great to see that it wasn't too serious and just a little scare, I'm sure, and they're up by so much they didn't really need her in the end, so she got a little bit of rest and back out tonight.
Here's Ellis. Running point for Townsville. Melbourne right up in her grill. And a whistle at the timeline against Canberra.
That's a fine balance, isn't it? Being right up in the grill, as you said, Liam, and then just not that, leaving a little bit of space so as not to foul her like we just saw Jade Melbourne do and pick up her early first foul.
Less than 90 seconds into it. Froling fronting the offense this time. 4 seconds for Ellis. Got to make her move. Soa just in time. And Sissoko able to pull down the rebounds. With her in this lineup, Laurie, it makes it such a long Canberra unit.
Well, if you look across the board, other than Jade Melbourne, they're all of a very similar height, the 4 other players, and so that allows them the luxury of being able to switch aggressively. There shouldn't be that many mismatches out there, and they need to take advantage of that.
There's a real point of difference for them. Ellis carving through the keyway. Froling the running jump hook.
That's something I'm so impressed, Rachel, with Townsville, is their movement off the ball.
Yeah, absolutely, and they just find each other as well. They know where everyone's going to be, so it makes those passes and those cuts so much easier to do when you know you're going to be rewarded.
Poch and Soa on the perimeter. Alex Fowler coming off a fantastic game last Saturday night against Adelaide. There's Ellis fighting through.
How good is Abby Ellis?
Sissoko directing traffic. This will be a fun matchup. Attacking on Fowler. Dumps off to Tage Morel. Woods advancing down the floor. Fowler. Soa open from the top, and that is danger signs of your Canberra. Nylon for Soa. And just like that, out to a 7-point advantage.
Yeah, that's the thing with Townsville is you can't have any lapses, and we saw Milasowa miss her first shot, but then she was never going to miss the second one, so that was going down every single day of the week.
And the Amy replay, that is plenty of space for Mila to work with. Here is Soa around that screen, gets the switch on to Morel, now she can attack. Great hands though, from the Canberra 5. Strong screen provided for Melbourne. Going to go to work on Ellis, draws a double. Morel time to set. Big news for the Fire during the week as well. Shannon Seabohm inking a 3-year extension as coach.
Yeah.
Will earn her way to the line.
I mean, we said last night, it's got to be the easiest decision in sport, doesn't it? He's just been so great for the Townsville Fire, and, you know, it's just a great sign for their club that they want to be so consistent and, you know, sign him to a long-term deal and keep him there, because he's just doing such a great job and getting the best out of his team year after year.
Well, and then when you have a coach that's signed there for so long, players then understand that if I go to Townsville, I know I'm going to get Shannon Seabohm as my coach, and he develops players, he's with the Opals, and it's just a really good look for the whole program.
They've become a consistent contender over a number of years now, Townsville. We'll hear more from Shannon later on. 11-2 start for Townsville. So whistle off the ball.
Clock issue.
We're taking 8 seconds.
Well spotted, Rachel. I'll get that adjusted.
Still a bit traumatised from recent clock issues.
I don't know if Canberra would be. It seemed to work a treat.
100%. I think they need to get to every game an hour early, get some trick shots going, get the laughs out, get relaxed.
That was incredible.
It was a different sort of build-up, that's for sure. With Sarves. Can't get by Froling, 2 seconds.
Needs to go up.
Not going to happen. 24 comes and goes for the Fire. Can't ask for much more if you're a Townsville fan in the house. Doing it on both ends of the floor at the moment. Melbourne trying to make something happen. Lucy Olsen, early entrant.
Wow.
Oh, Townsville, what a find.
Well, you have to admire Townsville and their execution. We talked about them being a well-oiled machine, and they just know their counter moves. They know how to read the defense, and just the connections that there is between the players.
Melbourne, confident. Not that time, but Sissoko, another chance. Didn't hit the rim, so 4 seconds on the shot clock for Morel. They're on the attack, Townsville. They can smell an opportunity. Olsen. Melbourne slingshot the other way for Canberra. Plenty of Fire players back in D. Count it, and one, Jade Melbourne.
That's a massive shot by Jade Melbourne. They really needed that. Townsville's defense has just been impenetrable the last few possessions, and they just needed something just to take the lid off the rim so that they can just get some breath back and start to really focus and execute.
And you can see that the defense was back, but they weren't set.
Yeah.
And so really good decision to continue attacking and get yourself to the line in an and one.
Melbourne, chance for the extra, makes no mistake. Let's get to Kate Gaze, courtside.
Just prior to that foul shot from Jade Melbourne, Gorry had a timeout coming. He waved it away very quickly, so I imagine he wants more of that.
As Courtney Woods connects.
Well, he might be thinking twice about not calling that timeout with Courtney Woods.
Second treble for Townsville. Sissoko spotted a lane. Lauren Cox off the bench for Townsville. Great fine, outletting ahead, and Fowler will waltz in. Timeout. 18-5 early days.
Wow. They're just so smart in the way that they execute and just running the floor so well on that occasion. But we saw that take from Sissoko and Lauren Cox just changing that shot, and then they're able to get out and run and score an easy bucket.
Kate asked Paul Goris before the game his reaction after what was a tough outing for the Caps against Townsville in round 2.
Paul, back in round 2, you took a big loss to the Fire and obviously had some strong comments in the press conference after the game. How did the team respond to that? And does that sit in the back of your mind coming into tonight's game?
Yeah, obviously we didn't respond too well because we lost 2 games in a row after that. So I think we've responded well in the weeks after that. Obviously had a great win against Sydney, but I think the preparation that we had for Bendigo the week before really set us up in how we played against Sydney last weekend. And obviously just give some confidence in playing well. I think offensively, just moving the ball better, sharing the ball, and that showed last week with scorers across the board, and then just defensively getting on the same page and playing with more physicality.
The challenge has been put to Paul Goris and the Caps once again here. Townsville 70% from the field.
Yeah, they're just incredible, aren't they? And we've said it time and time again, but it's because they take the right shots. You know, they're passing the ball, they're giving up a good shot to get a great shot, and that makes your shooting percentage go up because you're shooting shots that you would take at training, at practice, with no defense.
Well, 6 minutes down here. Caps struggling a little bit over these last few moments. Laurie, would you have considered taking this time out earlier to stop the momentum?
Well, I think when Jade hit that layup and that and one, you know, he did call it back. But as soon as Courtney Woods fought back, you know, maybe call it away straight away there, because they are so potent in their offense. They're first in the league in points per game at 88. So you just can't let them get on any sort of run.
Potch to the stripe for 2.
And Townsville, they're shooting the 3 at nearly 45% for the season. The next best team is Adelaide at 33%. That is a huge difference and just goes to show just how well they are shooting.
That's an extraordinary clip as a team.
Well, when I look at across the line, Rachel, at Townsville's stat line, they're first in field goal percentage, 3-point, as you said, assists, points per game, and points against. So they are number 1 for a reason.
The gold standard at the moment, Townsville. But they are fallible. Fell once to the Southside Melbourne Flyers earlier. Inside to Froling. And she draws the foul on Tage Morrell. Second trip to the free-throw line coming up tonight for Townsville.
Great find by Olsen there. Passing through traffic, that's a very difficult pass.
WNBL 26 season officially underway, and expect to see world-class athletes, fierce rivalries, and some truly epic hoops. Get all your news, info, tickets, and more at WNBL.com.au or scan the QR code on screen now for your full season fixture. Froling gets a friendly bounce. 2 of 2 for Alicia. And a 14-point gap opened up. Melbourne and Nat Ellis, this young point guard battle. This will be one to watch. Dancing through is Jade. She'll step back for 3 herself. Sissoko got a tip to it. Stays Canberra basketball.
Both teams, as we mentioned, come in with big wins under their belt. But when Townsville played Adelaide last week, they had 6 players in double figures. That just shows the depth of their team and their willingness to play team basketball.
Nicole Munga swoops on it. And was tapped last out of Cox's hands. Fire basketball.
I like that Coach Paul Goris has brought in Brent Catasano and Nicole Munga. They just need a little bit more grit on defense right now, and those two certainly bring that.
Woods, 7.5 assists per game this season, leading the league. Referee spotted something down low between Munga and Froling. Team foul number 4 against the Caps. Froling looked like she was lining up for bonus free throws.
She was trying to con the ref, I think, that time.
Always worth a try.
Yeah, absolutely. You do anything with confidence, you can get away with it.
Yeah, this is true. They've got one more to give, though. Olsen, they go under the screen. Can't make him pay that time. Cox on the follow. Olsen nearly got it down for an and one. And back-to-back offensive rebounds will cost the Caps.
What a luxury having those two imports come in off the bench, Olsen and Cox, and what they can bring. And so, you know, Coach Shannon Seabone has a really good rotation that he can rest some players, he can throw different looks out there.
And just that attitude, and obviously how selfless of teammates they are, coming in as imports. You know, you don't usually expect to be coming off the bench, but they've both taken that role in their stride and happy to do whatever the team needs.
They sure have. Lucy Olsen, 2 of 2. They're going at 48% from 3 herself this season. Lauren Cox leading the league in blocks per game. And getting it done off the bench as well. Blitzarves. Short. Potch, though. Second chance. Froling. Woods now to initiate offense. Driving by Munga. Still advancing down low. Another trip to the stride for Townsville, where they're 6 of 6 already tonight. The good news is, Laurie, 17 field goal attempts for the Caps to the Fire's 12. They're getting offensive rebounds, creating extra looks, but when you're going at 18%, that's going to cost you.
Well, it is, and I think you have to give credit to Townsville for that. Just the pressure that they're under when they take those shots, even if they're the second chance opportunities. Everybody's competing. It's physical out there.
Dan Catazano off the pine. Skipped over from Blitzarves inside, well placed. Potch, great O from the Capitals.
The thing I liked about Potch there, she did her work nice and early to get a good seal. She held it. It was a really nice entry pass into her and a good finish, and she finds herself at the line.
Strong, but it favours Blitzarves. Can they get 4 from this trip? They can. Jada Clark joins the party. Capitals lifting these last few moments. On the block with Cox. Goes to work on Blitzarves. Lefty lay-in, not quite. Froling muscles it down. Here's Woods. Top of the arc 3. Rebounding contest finds a foul. Melbourne can't believe it. Gonna have to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, she really can't believe that one. But, you know, it's interesting. I don't know if we've seen this lineup from Canberra. They've gone real small ball with Sarah Blitzarves at the 5 spot. So they're looking, I think, to probably exploit their athleticism across the floor and see if they can get some mismatches that way.
Oh, I think I can see why Jade Melbourne was a bit frustrated and bemused by that. That looked like she was just, you know, had backed in, was blocking out.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty textbook box out. So Melbourne will have to sit with 2 personals.
And you don't often see Jade Melbourne get that, you know, show that sort of emotion, that negative emotion.
No, you don't. And Catazano with the teardrop. Bit of adversity here for the Caps. See if they can stand up over this final 60 seconds in the first. So up. Immediate trigger once more. Now Olsen, they got the fresh 14.
Great defense.
Worked away nicely. Bongi getting involved. Jada Clark. Wayward that time. Shot clock 5 seconds ahead of the game clock. The Capitals, though, swoop on it. Clark. 2 to come at the line.
I feel like Jada's lucky she got fouled there.
Yep.
That just, it was really early in the shot clock to be driving it in there. And that's where I think Canberra need to just be a little bit more patient. Try and shift the defense. I know Townsville are playing some great defense, hands up, you know, really competing every shot, but shift them a little bit more, make them play more, really test the waters.
Let's get down to Kate on the floor.
Despite Canberra being down a bit earlier on, I'm impressed with the way they've really stuck with it. Their energy and effort is really showing, and it's a lot of intensity on the defensive end at the moment.
5 seconds remaining. Potch came across. Cut off nicely. 2 seconds. Blitzarves in time. Banks it in. The Capitals right on the buzzer to finish the first. Back to a single-digit ball game here at the 5 pit.
That's what we like to see.
Capitals with a 10-2 run to finish the first quarter, get themselves back within 8 entering the second as Sarah Blitzarves beat the buzzer to finish the first and bring some momentum into the huddles for the visitors. Bit of work to do though on the glass, being out rebounded 16-8. Paul Goris calling, we need to clean up our box outs, but it's much improved and a lot to be encouraged if you're a Capitals fan.
Yeah, absolutely. They really went into that quarter time break with the momentum as Courtney Woods comes out and shuts that down. But, you know, I like this lineup they're going with. It is small ball. They've got Sarah playing at the 5 spot, and it just gives a different look to Townsville.
Jada Clark, strong take. Jada Clark, a player who always brings a presence off the bench every game for Paul Goris' side. He was big last week in that 40-point victory over the Flames. The fire in swing, so well from the mid-range.
Well, so you run her off the three-point line, knowing what a great three-point shooter she is, and now she's got her mid-range game happening as well.
Only burn for Monique Mbongi. Blitzarves down low, Froling. Clean, says the referee.
Great defense by Froling there. That's a really tough drive to not get called on as a foul, so she did great to get her hands out.
Let's get down to Kate Gaze. What did you catch in the huddles?
Yeah, leading into quarter time, Gorry was in the ref's ear a little bit. He's not happy with some of the calls he's getting. However, he was very happy with how the team finished that quarter, and he's happy and wants the girls to keep helping on the defensive end. They help split side when the ball's getting inside with the Fire.
Thanks, Kate. Back in arrears by 11 though now. Mbongi helps that.
So, Rachel, Jade Melbourne has 2 fouls, is sitting on the bench. Do you put her back in this second quarter?
I would, yes, at some point, but right now they're sort of holding their position, so I think you don't want to leave it too long. You don't want Fire to get on a run, but I think he can wait another couple of minutes before getting her back in there, and I think he'll trust Jade.
Second time's the charm for Neil Asowa. Clark the fall away. Wood spotted something ahead. Oh, it was a nice pass. Caps did well to cut it down. Tuso forced to watch on today, resting after coming up with an injury last week. Here's Blitzarves ahead. Hand off to Clark, who's been highly involved. Strong from Blitzarves. Ellis with the rake and take. Oh, Woods again inside. And strength from Alicia Froling. Woods the facilitator.
Well, Alicia Froling again used her body really well to position and hold that seal, and Courtney Woods just made a perfect pass to her, and the strength of Froling and the persistence to just catch that and go up strongly.
Froling up to 8 this evening. Blitzarves down the floor. Jade Melbourne is back out there with the 2 personals. Nadia Potch from the mid-range. Interesting moments here for the Capitals. The Fire asking the challenge of them. Smoking the lay-in though is Froling. They love to run and gun, the Capitals. Forced to play a half-court game this time, and cut off from Abby Ellis.
Great anticipation by Abby Ellis. She knew that Canberra wanted to reverse the ball. She just hung back for a split second and then just was, and that's a problem with the turnover at the top of the key. It is an automatic layup.
Hands in again. Melbourne can reset, 7 seconds. Blitzarves bowled into Froling. And a blocking foul, the result.
Automatic layup from the top of the key.
And a look at this call on Froling. Just sliding the feet, said the referee.
I think it was probably there, but I could never be a referee.
No,
Watching those even in slow motion.
Yeah.
When I played, I thought I could be, but...
That's a tough job, especially on those block charge calls. Froling's intensity on the glass once again. Woods around that pick, nicely placed. Fowler on the roll. Jade Melbourne will allow the defense to reset for Canberra.
The thing is with Townsville, Rachel, is that no matter how much you scout them, so Goris would have scouted them, the players would know, they've just got the counters, and they do such a good job of reading what the defense is taking away, therefore they have this option.
Yeah, and I talked about that they've gone, the Caps had gone small ball, and Townsville instantly adjusted, and then they started getting the ball inside and getting some great finishes from Froley and Cox. So, you know, it is like that. What do you do when you play them? You've got to take something away, but you're giving something else up.
Poch snatched it away. Sissoko on the trail. Ellis again with a hustle. And the foul call goes against Woods. Looking again in the open floor, the Capitals once more. And Woods knew it. Melbourne running point, Munga wasn't looking. Not quite on the same page.
Well, just a bit unfortunate. Munga just got her feet tangled and wasn't turned in time when Jade passed her the ball.
Froley. Back with Woods. Ellis has Sissoko in front. Now they can switch with Poch. That's the versatility they possess. But Courtney Woods, unimpeded, but not that time. Munga, sharpshooter for the Capitals. Fowler came across and just disposed of Brain Catazano. Referee not biting. Woods, you take it, I'll take it, no worries. 3 more for the Fire. They are the best team from 3 in the league. Maybe lost her footing in the end.
Yeah, I think good no call.
Fire here open up an 18-point gap at the Fire pit. For 3 of the game for the Fire. They're up to 11 assists as a team already. And that has become no surprise the way they play their hoops.
Oh, absolutely. And we talk about how great offensively they are, but defensively they are just as good and maybe even better. They are just so hard to score against, and Canberra are having a really tough time trying to get anything that they want to go to because Townsville are just locking everything down at the moment.
And that's why as a player, you know, they made a couple of passes and then they feel like there's no other option. So then they just shoot a contested shot. And so that is strictly on the defense that Townsville's playing. And if you watch them, they're low, they're in the stance, they're pointing, they're just in the right position at the right time.
Townsville Fire 40, UC Capitals 22 out of the timeout. Here's a great Christmas present idea. Check out the official WNBL merch range. Hoodies, tees, track pants, shorts. It's all there and designed for true WNBL fans. Scan the QR code on screen now or head to WNBL.com.au to shop the collection and rep the W. Munga from the free-throw line. Able to connect out of the timeout.
Amazingly, last time these two teams met, it was Chantel Horvath that had 20 points, the top scorer. She's not even on the court today.
Such a wealth of options, the Fire. Here's Fowler on the roll. Kate Gaze was at the Capitals bench. Kate.
Yeah, Gary was just emphasising some one-on-one defensive containment, wanting them to be better at that, and then getting on the rim offensively.
Thanks, Kate. Here's Melbourne. Not into Froley on the baseline. Sissoko off the dribble. Great look from the corner. Ball hits the deck, so is that. Still live for Townsville. Quick thinking from Fowler. Olsen down the floor. Nylon, 3 more for Townsville.
That's what she was recruited for. Absolutely. Step up to that three-point line in transition. She's a great three-point shooter, shooting at 48% from beyond the arc.
Unbelievable. Continues that trend there. Melbourne popping out was Poch. You know, the Caps can run the floor. At the moment, it's Townsville. who are opening them up in transition. Screen for Woods. Steps into a three. It's a confident stroke. Townsville doing what they do best. 7 of 14 now from three. Not quite return fire. Mona able to rip it out and back to the stripe for Canberra. Here's that transition three from Olsen on the Amy replay.
Just in rhythm. It looks so nice. Catch and shoot. Whack.
And they're able to get out in transition because they're getting defensive rebounds and they're diving on loose balls. They're playing every possession like, you know, it's the last possession of the game. They're so determined every time to get those 1%ers, and then they're just out and running.
And that's why I feel, Rachel, that Canberra need to do a better job of getting it through hands, popping it through hands, because one pass, a shot, they're in great rebounding position. They can find their player and they can get out and run. So you need to get them in rotation. Now, easier said than done with the defense that they're playing, but I just feel that the shot selection hasn't probably been quite on point for Canberra tonight.
Olsen. Clark there in her grill. Cox, the bailout screen. And they combine beautifully. Olsen having a great first half. Melbourne attacking off the dribble. Lauren Cox changing shots once again. Closed off baseline from Clark. Great hands, Melbourne. She can burst into the open floor. And the call. Cox late to the party. Jade Melbourne will take a well-earned break in the
she needs a little break.
Looks comfortable up against that. But I'm sure she was aware of Cox running down the back of her in the tracks here. You can just see that because we know what a shot blocker she is, but just have a little rest there.
Chance for three the old-fashioned way for Jade. A young leader for the Capitals. The Cowbells in full voice. Unfaced. A 21-point cushion for Townsville. So up. Entry pass closed off from Morrell. Single numbers for Olsen. Shooter in the corner. Kick out to the big. They can all let it fly. Not that time. And a charge call. Easy one for the ref that time.
Yeah, I think so, but Morrell really saved them on that possession because they gave up another offensive rebound to Townsville, and you just can't do that. You really have to be one and done in possessions against them because they're just too talented, too many weapons over the floor.
Lauren Cox being assessed with a technical.
Oh.
Not happy about the call.
You don't usually see her sort of get upset about anything, so it's an unusual one.
Six of 10 from the line, the Capitals. We talk a lot about the Cowbells.
Yeah. Well, I heard Courtney Woods last week say that their home crowd lets them know when they're not playing well and roast them, but as an opposition player who's played up there, I can tell you that they definitely let the opposition know exactly what they think as well. So I've copped plenty of roasts from the Townsville crowd.
Yeah, they're good for it. Jade Melbourne turned the Jets on. Found a gear. She'll get herself to the line and looks sore once again. Hopefully nothing serious here for Jade Melbourne. He's a little ginger. He's so tough, Jade Melbourne. Let's have a look at it.
Yeah, ouch.
Cameraman.
Ouch. There wasn't the padding there that she landed in last time.
No, and, you know, we've seen her, you know, cop some contact to her face in a previous season, so hopefully she's got her mouth guard in today, because we don't want to see any more lost teeth for Jade Melbourne.
Kate Gaze asked Shannon Seaborn pre-match about his fresh 3-year extension inked during the week.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's, you know, to be a professional coach and be able to stay in the same place for now 10 years, I guess, is, you know, is rare, and it's something that I don't take for granted. I obviously love it up here and love working with Sam and the rest of the team here at the Fire, and, you know, really, really happy to be able to sign on again and stay here for a decade.
An easy decision for both parties by the sound. 10 years a long stint, isn't it?
Well, it is. I was surprised to hear him say that, but it does make sense, and it's so smart to keep re-signing him and continue the legacy that this program is just forming year after year.
Yeah, and what you said, Laurie, before about players then knowing who the coach is, it's 100% so true that when you're trying to sign a contract and you're talking to clubs, the first thing you want to know who's coaching.
Yeah, yeah.
Jade Melbourne shakes it off and will head to the line. And Rose from the line continues, starting to become a story. 55% from the strike. Abby Ellis running point. These two young local guards will do battle at the timeline.
See Canberra out in a bit of a zone now after that timeout.
Ellis, no look fine out to Froling. 3 seconds, the float game falls.
So that was a drive by Abby Ellis, kicked it out, so you've gone inside out, and then on that rotation, the closeout, Froling, driving it back in. Really good basketball.
Travel call against Morel.
Sorry, when you're in a zone, Laurie, you can't. There was 2 drives into the paint in that situation. You're playing a zone really to keep the opposition out of the paint, so you can't allow that penetration. Otherwise, there's just going to be holes everywhere in your zone.
So up. Now reset with Ellis. Cox creates space. Goes right at Nadia Poch. High off the window and in. Abby Ellis, what a tough finish.
At the line for the extra, you know who.
And on the flip side, the Fire are 91% from the line.
Abby is sponsored by Mainstay.
They're on their way, Townsville. 55 on the board and a half.
Let's go.
Time remaining. Sissoko wants movement. Can't get Froling off the deck. Another second chance and well controlled. Woods sees parted. They are in a groove.
They really are. They're just, you know, we say it all the time, they've just got so many weapons all over the floor, and you just watch them here on this possession. They're so relentless on defense.
Melbourne trying to find Sissoko inside. So we're there. Doing it on both ends at the moment. They're on the hunt, the Fire. So up. Everyone getting involved. Not that time. Poch advancing. Clutching at her left ankle. Hopefully nothing serious for Nadia Poch, as Ellis will be assessed with a personal.
Yeah, it looks like she might have just rolled her ankle, so hopefully a little bit of a tweak. Sometimes with ankles they just hurt really bad for the first few minutes, seconds, and then sort of ease off a little bit.
He looks to be walking okay. Exciting news during the week as well, beyond the WNBL. The docu-series released online. Make sure you go on board and check that out, starring Jade Melbourne and Nadia Poch from the Capitals.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a great opportunity to get and see behind the scenes and get to know these players off the court as well, and their personalities shining through.
Taylor George and Shanice Swain as well featured.
It was fantastic. I was here in Melbourne and saw the viewing of it, and it's a great, the players are so open and honest and down to earth, and as you say, you get to see a bit of back of what they do off the court, which is so important to how they play in their lives and what they bring on the court then.
So many great personalities around the WNBL. Shot clock just a factor here. Woods. Froling stepping out for 3. 5 to work with. Brain Catazzano nearly thread the needle.
That's a really tough pass to make and an even tougher pass to catch. Running straight down the lane, and the pass is coming at no angle whatsoever. Really tough.
1.7. Is there time for a heave? So up. 57-31 here. Townsville Fire are on a rampage in WNBL 26, on their way to a big tally. Let's see if the Capitals can bounce back in the second half here. The ladder leaders putting on a show, led by Courtney Woods with 18 points and 4 assists at the half.
Oh, she just does it all every week, doesn't she? And just a pleasure to watch.
Lucy Olsen's got involved from beyond the arc as well. Here she is with Kate.
Lucy, you kept the Canberra Caps to, I think, 37 points in that first half. Obviously a lot better than what you guys did last game. How's it feel out there?
Yeah, it's good. It's intense. I think everyone's being really aggressive right now, so I think we just got to stay composed and keep going in the second half.
And points-wise, I think you're on track for over 100 points again in tonight's game. It must be a fun group to play with when you have so many scorers spread all over the court.
Oh yeah, in practice it's so annoying to guard because everyone can just hit a shot, so you can't overhelp, but it's great when we're all on the same team.
And lastly, what do you think of the fans in Townsville and how are you enjoying playing out here?
Oh my gosh, it's so loud. We couldn't even hear the whistle on the first play. Yeah, it's great. Everyone's awesome. They're so into it. It makes it that much more fun.
Well, we're loving having you. Thank you and good luck for the second half.
Thank you. Woo!
Lucy Olsen, 7 points off the pine for the Fire. They have an even spread of scorers once more. It's been fun to watch here from the Townsville perspective. 57-31, halftime at the 5.
Yeah, I feel like reflecting on how far I've kind of come, and I think how like honestly proud of myself I am for that achievement. So yeah, it's really awesome to have people here to celebrate with as well. My parents are so proud. My mum is American, kind of having her really early on. So like when I was coming up through like the ranks, like I knew I could be a professional basketball player because my mum had kind of shown me the steps and done the way. So it's really awesome to kind of be in that second generation of WNBL players. And then I went to Seattle to visit my grandparents, and my parents felt the need to bring the gold medal to Seattle, which is fine. But it was really cool. Like obviously my grandma, just showing everyone in the neighborhood, all my cousins, like every single place we went, the gold medal was brought. So yeah, it was really awesome. And like my grandparents stay up at 3 a.m. to watch all my games. They're the reason I wear bright shoes, so they can tell which player I am on the court. So obviously they put in a lot of late nights. So it was really awesome to kind of say, this is what it was all for.
Massive first half at that as well for Courtney Woods. 4 3 balls, 4 of 5 from distance. 18 to lead the way for the Fire. Liam Ellison here, Rachel Jarry and Laurie Chiswick to run you through at the halftime break. And they're out to another big lead, the Townsville Fire.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, beautifully led by Courtney Woods. Her grandparents will be very happy watching her run around in her bright shoes tonight. And yeah, she's just what else can we say about her? She's just absolutely sublime.
Having another great season. Here's a look at the Hungry Jacks halftime highlights. And there's plenty of triples for the Townsville Fire. They've moved the ball so well once again, Laurie.
Well, they're doing it at both ends of the court. So one, they're stifling Canberra to make all their shots really difficult. Then they're getting out and running. They've had a few really nice transition baskets. But then in that court, they are just so good at executing, getting the ball through hands, making the right decisions. And their shot selection has been fantastic.
Almost got this robotic-like discipline defensively mixed with the flair down the floor, Rachel. It's fun to watch.
Oh, it really is. And that's the thing, when you play against the Townsville Fire, you have to take good shots. You have to execute offensively. Otherwise, they're going to punish you by getting easy defensive rebounds, and running it down your throat. So I think that's where Canberra can really change it up this half and come out and really try and execute with purpose.
Tough night so far, shooting the ball for the Capitals. Let's look at our Blackmores head-to-head between Alicia Froling. Let's see how that all wraps up here at halftime, along with Nadia Poch. 10 in the half for Alicia.
I think Alicia's been doing a great job of presenting inside, using her body, doing the work early. And then if the defense collapses, it opens it up for the other players. But she's, we've talked about her and her hard work and what she does out there. And she just continues to do the little things that aren't necessarily on the stat sheet.
Courtney Woods, as we noted, 18 points. Let's have a look at how she has got it done in the first half. 4 of 5 from 3. She has been picking her spots brilliantly once more.
Yeah, and her team just finds her when she's open as well, and then she'll find her teammates when they're running the floor like that one. So she's just great, and that's the thing with Townsville is Courtney's got 18 at halftime, but it could be anyone in the next half or the next game. They just have so many players that will step up.
Have a look at the forward shot chart for Courtney Woods. 18, 5 of 7 from the field. And that is pretty viewing if you're a Fire fan, Laurie.
Well, it is. And we talked about her scoring. We talk about her assisting, her defense. She is such a leader on the court, too. She's a calm presence. She's been through the program. She's been there a long time. The players respect her. And she really, really leads by example.
Jade Melbourne's had a tough night so far. She's been working so hard once again and, well, able to have a little rest on the baseline as well at one point. Wasn't this a nice moment?
Yes, it certainly was, and we love it when she gets out in transition like that, but just a nice little rest, little cushion there on the baseline. But it certainly felt like she was ready to kind of put the team on her back for a moment there, and she's really trying to be aggressive, trying to get her team going.
And the thing about Jade is that, she can put it on, she can bring her teammates in, but right now, it doesn't seem to matter what they're doing out there. Townsville have an answer defensively, and I've just been so impressed with what I've seen from them in their just the way they're standing, they're pointing, they're talking, they're switching, everything is really on point.
If you're Paul Goris at half-time, what's the word, do you think, to try and come out and make a fist of it in the third quarter?
What do you reckon, Laurie? I think I'd be talking, you know, about offense as well. I really think that they need to execute. They need to find some good shots, and then they've got to mix it up defensively. We saw that zone they tried for one possession, but something just to change the flow of the game for them.
And I think, too, you say, okay, that first half's done. We've got to make some changes. Whether we win or lose this game, we've got to put in a good second half because we have to get better. We have to think ahead, too. We want to make sure that we win this second half.
They've got to set the tone, that's for sure. That's what they'll be looking to do. 12:30 p.m. tomorrow. Massive game between the Bendigo Spirit and the Perth Lynx. Looking forward to this. Two of the sides entrenched in the 4, and it's a milestone night for both Mariana Tolo and Kelsey Griffin.
How exciting is that? Those two legends that they both have been on different paths, but they reached their 250th at the same time. Really, really exciting.
And to celebrate it on the same team, as you mentioned, on the same day, it is fitting for two of the reigning champions and the greats of the WNBL. Second half not too far away here at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. It's the Fire by 26. Just about to get underway here in the third quarter. Townsville 57, UC Capitals 31 here at the Fire Pit. Liam Ellison, Rachel Jarry and Laurie Chiswick WNBL26 with you on commentary, and Kate Gaze is courtside.
In the Army, you'll never stop learning.
Hey guys, obviously a blistering start by the Townsville Fire here in the first half. If you're coming out of that timeout, you're feeling good, you're hoping to keep it rolling for the second half. For Canberra on the flip side, you're hoping to crawl your way back and hope to get it between 10-15 points at the three-quarter time break. Canberra obviously in for a tough second half, but they've got the players that can potentially do that.
Thanks, Kate. They sure do. Capitals looking to bounce back here out of the break.
And they just have to break it down now into sort of mini goals, if you like. So they'll be coming out trying to get 3 stops in a row, and that will hopefully shift the momentum a little bit their way. Try and win the first 2 minutes and just break the game down in that sense.
And I'm sure Paul Goris has reminded them that they're not going to get into this deficit. They're not going to get rid of it in the first 5 minutes. It's over the next 2 quarters that they have to chip away.
Melbourne to get us underway. Morel at the elbow. Falling right there. Poch, 2 feet in the keyway. Townsville's defense has been stellar. Holding the Caps to 31.5. So with a step through.
Really crafty from Soa there to just finish against a much bigger opponent.
Here's Poch. Blitzarves. Sissoko inside. Morel once again inside, and this time the lefty lay-in's good.
That was a tough finish, and they've gone inside in their first 2 possessions of the Caps, and I like that look for them.
So up. Single numbers now for Townsville. Ellis in rhythm. Being out-rebounded at the half, the Capitals. That's something they'll be looking to clean up, you'd suspect. Melbourne created space on Froling. Nice move.
That was very nice by Jane Melbourne, but yeah, they will need to clean up the rebounds, but the thing is, when Townsville are shooting so good, there's not that many defensive rebounds to go around for the Caps.
Well, that was, you're not going to get much more of a wide open look than you did in that last one.
Melbourne lost her footing in the backcourt. Sissoko back heel. Here is Melbourne calling for a screen. Rejects it. Ellis does well to stay in front. Rebound number 6 tonight for Alicia Froling. What a half for Courtney Woods, 18 to her name. Oh, Melbourne well placed, rifled forward to Poch. Established herself in bounds. Fire crowd doesn't like it.
Yeah. It was hard to see, yeah. Very close one, that one.
Ellis. Back with Milasoa. Has Sissoko in front. Still slicing by. 29-point differential. It's a happy hunting ground, the fire pit. Here's Blitzarves. Can the Capitals get something going? Melbourne now. Ellis hit the deck hard. Kick ball whistle. Blitzarves trying to get a seal inside. Might have got away with one there.
Maybe a little bit. Might have been a little bit of mayo on that from Ellis, but she's great at getting in there, especially under those big players, and putting herself in a great defensive position.
There is Blitzarves on the cut baseline. Another nice find from Melbourne. Soa blowing by Nadia Poch. And the call against Sissoko.
just can't afford to start ball watching when Townsville move the ball around or penetrate, because they are so good at moving off the ball. You just can lose sight of your player really quickly.
The Woods will reset the offense. Waiting a cutter, flipped out, all alone. Ellis, 3 ball drops.
Well, Courtney Woods leads the league in assists, averaging almost 8 a game, and there was an example of one of those great assists to her teammate.
Ellis tried to get a hand in. Morel lost her footing, just kept in. Sissoko can step into a 3.
High ball.
Here is that look from Woods, finding Ellis for 3 on the Amy replay. 44% from beyond the arc tonight. Happy with a no call?
I'm always happy with a no call, but
yeah.
That's just me.
(67-37). Woods gets the switch on to Sissoko. It's becoming quite a physical game down low. 4 seconds for Sowa. Woods in time. Strong from Sowa, but they pounce on it, Townsville. Abby Ellis cleans it up. Melbourne, that is unbelievable vision for Sissoko.
I think that's the first easy look they've had, transition basket all game. And you need those to relieve the pressure of what they're having to do in court-to-court.
Really chippy between Froling and Sissoko. Been letting it go a little bit, but...
Yeah, we have seen, you know, some physicality on the last few possessions, a few players hitting the deck, so hopefully the refs can just sort of get everyone under control. It's all good.
Ellis. Baseline opportunity. Kate Gaze, what are you seeing down there?
Guys, it's getting very touchy down here, very physical, very competitive. A lot of players not happy with the calls they're getting from the refs, and I think they're lashing out against their opposing players.
It is getting intense. Sissoko, tough take. Fighters keep on keeping on. Big tally just halfway through this third quarter. Again, those two get tangled. Sissoko and Froling. I think they were both pleading their case on that one.
Absolutely. A Froling in a tangle, it's something we say most games, isn't it, Laurie?
It sure is. Ellis will take a break. Melbourne takes Olsen off the dribble. Floated just short. Morel dives in. Townsville once again, off and running. So Fowler hit the deck. This should be a personal on Sissoko, you'd suspect. And that'll be number 3 for her.
The thing with Fowler running the floor like that, she knew that Sowell had the ball in her hands, and chances are she's going to pull up and shoot it, but she is there for the old boards if she misses.
Back with Woods. On the cut was Fowler, and again drawing the foul. 4th in the quarter against Canberra. Jade Melbourne, the calm head there for the UC Cats. Olsen off the bench. They are so deep, this Townsville side. Another 3 for Lucy Olsen. Well, we'll take a break. They're back to a small ball lineup, the Capitals.
Well, we're at a 33-point margin, and last time they played each other, Canberra went down by 35, so it could even be a, well, I like the word you used, Liam, a rampage.
It's becoming a bit of a mirror image, isn't it, of that round 2 contest. 105.70 AIS Arena. It is the toughest road trip in the league at the moment. The Townsville Entertainment Centre. Tight handle for Melbourne. Blitzarves in motion. What can Jade Melbourne do with a fresh 14? Forster straight off the bench with the defense. Blitzarves, chaotic few moments. Horn expires.
My goodness, it must be so fun to play on the Townsville Fire. The way they play defense together on every single possession, it's just beautiful to watch.
And on the converse side, it would be so frustrating right now. Canberra they're trying different things, different looks out there, but the stifling defense of Townsville is just not allowing them any room to breathe.
Been brilliant on both ends of the floor. Olsen needs to use the screen from Cox. 3 seconds. Need a bailout here. Not going to get a shot away. Cox in time. Oh, yes! Forget that. Everything working for Townsville.
Oh, that's how you know it's your night, when something like that goes down.
Just in time. 35 points. Blitzarves on the reverse.
Nice find by Brian Canisano, and nice cut by Sarah Blitzarves.
Olsen and Cox once more. Blitzarves doing everything she can. Such a presence. Lauren Cox inside. Oh, Melbourne slips. And Melbourne frustrated. They're going to have to get the mop out there.
Well, she asked them to mop up that exact spot before where she fell, and so that would be very frustrating. You just don't want anybody to get injured at all. Ugh.
Yeah, absolutely. And Melbourne will take a break. She has played so hard tonight. Nothing has come easy. Townsville have really scouted well.
And she's had Abby Ellis on her most of the game, who is just so relentless on defense, getting up and in every single possession. She's not been able to have 1 second to herself, so she's just been playing super hard all game.
Sissoko. Couple of minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. Clark looking to blow by. Players hitting the deck once again. It's been a physical night. It's number 4 for Olsen. She'll take a break for Abby Ellis. Let's get to Kate Gaze, courtside.
Guys, you talk about how relentless the Townsville Fire defense is, and they are. Looking at the Canberra Capitals, they are trying their hardest to get anything to work, and it's just not good enough tonight. The Townsville Fire are just non-stop. Each sub they make, it doesn't get any different for them out there. They are hard to beat in Townsville.
They sure are. Thanks, Kate.
I think Gazy, they're hard to beat anywhere right now, to be honest.
And you can bring those 2 imports off the bench, like you mentioned, Laurie. Lucy Olsen, Lauren Cox. They give up nothing. Long rebound for Forster. The 8th entrant tonight for Townsville. They've opted for a 7-player rotation throughout much of the game.
Well, the other thing we have to remember is they're without Zatina Akuzo, and we saw the impact that she had in the first 3 minutes of the game against Sydney, and she's such an inside presence that she commands some defense that then opens up your shooters. Right now, they really don't have that, and, you know, hopefully she'll be back and on the court soon.
4 seconds, Woods, again a late shot clock situation, and again Lauren Cox will get it done for the Fire. Sissoko looks to have caught some inadvertent contacts up high. It has been a bruising night for Canberra.
It really has been. Oh, a bit of friendly fire there, I think, from Munga. So would not tickle that one, that's for sure. But it has certainly been physical. We've seen the players hitting the deck, and those floor wipers are going to have to get busy and out there and make sure that the court's nice and safe for everyone to be running around on.
Well, the Capital staff will make sure Katie Sissoko is okay. Short break in play. Make sure you download the free WNBL app to catch every score, story and stat this season. It's the fastest way to stay courtside with the WNBL. Scan the QR code now on screen to download the app to your device. Sissoko will take a break for a few moments. Only seconds remaining in the third. Full court pressure from the Fire. Passed the way out of it, strong from Blitzarves. Ellis calling for the screen from Cox. Blitzarves the hand in, peels it clean. Now Russell arriving for three. Great defense again. Cox there, outletting, rolling down the floor. Back to the stripe for Townsville.
And that's just why Townsville is so good. Just such an example in those last two possessions. Sarah Blitzarves gets a great steal, but Townsville works so hard to get back. They can't get anything off the fast break, and then Townsville are able to come up with the stop with a big block from Lauren Cox, and fast break down the other end for Alicia Froling.
Really good examples, Rachel, of how they're playing this whole game. And even though the margin is what it is, they are still going just as hard as they did in that first quarter, which is the sign of a very professional team that's really great.
6 players in double figures already for Townsville. Clark. Reset with Munga, 7 seconds. Hands in, stays with the Caps. Blitzarves, not quite on the roll.
Come on. Let's put those hands.
Shot clock not a factor to finish in third. 21-15 in the period so far for Townsville. Inside, Cox. And it's a 34-point advantage for the home side. Townsville playing beautiful basketball once again at home at the Fire Pit. 80 plays 46 after 3. Townsville fans loving what they're seeing tonight from their Fire. They're moving the ball beautifully, playing that Townsville brand of basketball. 18 assists as a team, and they've opened up an 80-46 lead at three-quarter time. Liam Ellison, Rachel Jarry and Laurie Chiswick with you in commentary. It's been a WNBL Saturday doubleheader, and the ladder leaguers putting on a clinic. Dakota Crichton out of the corner. Some brand of basketball from the Fire, and it almost makes you feel like you can run out of superlatives at time, Rachel.
Absolutely, I certainly am. I'm going to need a thesaurus, but as we see, a great shot there. But they already have 6 players in double figures, and we talked about how they've been doing that consistently. And again, it's very hard to beat a team when they're getting that kind of contribution across the board.
Won all 3 quarters so far, the Fire for the Caps. Laurie, you feel like that's going to be the focus here, win this 4th quarter?
Well, it is, and if you just look at those 3-quarter stats, I mean, Canberra are beating them in offensive rebounds, so it's not from lack of trying or going after it or endeavor. And, you know, they've taken care of the ball relatively well, only 7 turnovers, so it's just their shooting percentage is woeful, and that in large part is due to the pressure that Townsville is putting on them.
Litzarves spinning back inside. Valiant from Brain Cardizano, Townsville basketball.
And of course, the flip side of that, Townsville's just shooting the ball beautifully. And always, as we say, confidence breeds confidence, and the more you're making them and shooting them, the better they get.
Crichton. Now Ellis, can she continue that trend? You bet.
And that's probably the most contested 3 they've taken all night, and they can afford to do that now, but you know, usually we see more ball movement, but a great shot there from Abby Ellis.
Broken up from Ellis. So arrived in the corner, trouble. Picked up that foot a little too quickly. Spotted the ref. 42% from 3 for Townsville, 54 from the fields, 93 from the free throw line. 20 team assists. It is a picture of efficiency. Reset off the kick ball.
Ready to try and Townsville social club. Come on, you guys. Let's clap your hands. Here we go.
They're continually sending messages to the rest of the competition, aren't they, Rachel?
Oh, absolutely. You know, everyone's going to be sitting at home thinking, how are we going to beat them when we come up against them? And that's the thing with being that #1. We talked about it earlier. You are the hunted. Everyone's going to be going, okay, if we're going to win a championship, we have to beat the Townsville Fire. So how do we do that?
Yeah.
Well, the Townsville locals loving it. We saw line dancing at halftime. It's in the party atmosphere. Why wouldn't it be when they sit atop the table and playing the way they do? The Bongi will try from 3. Right down the boulevard, Cox. First hands on the O-glass. We'll get another chance. Let's get to KK's sideline.
Said earlier that the Townsville Fire are a very professional club, and even though they're up 41 points, you're right, Shannon is coaching every play, every player, holding them to account and keeping them focused.
Thanks, Kate. That's the standard they set at the Townsville Fire.
Well, it is a challenge when you're up by this much. You have a quarter to go to stay both physically and mentally engaged in the game. And whether you're on the bench or on the floor, that's the challenge. But right now, it doesn't, as we said, they're playing with the same intensity, same endeavor as they did at the opening tip-off.
To sew up off the inbounds. Caps will have it. Capitals came into this one off a 40-point victory over the Flames. Skidded back down to earth here against Townsville.
Yeah, that roller coaster of sport, isn't it? And the thing about that is when you have big wins, you can't get too high, and when you have big losses, you can't get too low. You've got to find that sort of happy medium of a steady state of emotion, and that's something that they'll have to look to bounce back in the next game and not get too down on themselves about this one.
I'm going to flip back out. Lebongi inside. There's nice patience from the youngster. Blitzarv's persistence. Set for 3. Townsville cleaned it up once more. They'll host the Perth Lynx next Saturday, the next outing the UC Caps. It'll be another test back at their home at the AIS Arena.
And is that when we expect to perhaps see Han Shu there at that game? That would be, that's going to be fun to have her in the competition.
Oh, I can't wait for that. And just to see how Perth integrate her into that team, it will be really interesting to watch. And man, they will be pretty scary with all their shooters and then having Han Shu inside.
Well, and she can also shoot.
Yeah,
she
exactly
can
right.
Stretch the floor, so then you've got Maya Morris still inside, so they'll have lots of different options up their sleeve.
That is going to be fascinating. See how she gels. Caps will be hoping for Zatino Akuso to possibly return for that one to help things. Blitzarv's had the seal. Fowler across. Personal foul.
I'd like to see Sarah get rewarded for that. She has worked so hard all game, fighting inside. She's playing a little bit out of position, playing in that 5 spot, having to go up against Lauren Cox and Froling, and she's just worked tirelessly. And it's been a tough game, but yeah, she's doing everything she can.
That's when you have the versatility of somebody like Sarah that can defend a 3, can play a big, but when you are thrown into that big spot out of necessity, it is tough work, and it has been a hard day at the office for her, and she just keeps going.
1 of 2 from the line. 7 and 7 tonight for Blitzarv's. Olsen wanted the screen from Froling. So found a way outside the arc, bullseye. Another triple for Milisowa. Right, and try to stay with the play. On the Amy replay, Milisowa, one of the best league sharpshooters.
Well, it's interesting when the WNBL did a little poll with players about who they thought was the best shooter in the competition, and obviously Amy Atwell was, I think, the standout that came out of most players' names, but I'd have to say Mia Sowell would have to be right up there as far as her 3-point shooting and her ability to score.
And she's really making the right shot selections as well, and that's been the sort of progress in her game, is that she's making the right decisions. She's getting, you know, open looks, and in that case, she got that step back where her player left her wide open.
She's first in the WNBL in 3s made per game, and Forster gets involved with the and 1. And Catazano came across, able to keep her composure, get it up and in.
And these bench players coming in and playing aggressively like that, it really gives an even bigger lift to that Townsville team. The vets, the starters, will be so excited to see those bench players out there playing so well.
Sissoko will check back in. She's all right to go. Had a knock as well late last week against the Flames. Some conjecture about whether she'd be good to go. So 2 in the period so far from the Capitals. Koch and Babongi try to rip it away. And they activate this offense down the stretch. Forster turns the corner. Great instincts from Clark. Head of the play, Sissoko, great finds. Townsville will head to Adelaide on Tuesday night, away from home at the SA State Basketball Centre. Lightning will be buoyed, of course, from that OT win last night.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, we saw Townsville get a big win against Adelaide last week. So Adelaide will be sitting at home watching this game, preparing themselves, and they'll be out for revenge against Townsville, no doubt. But they were so great last night. That was a beautiful game to watch, and Steph Talbot was just insane.
That's one of the best games I've seen her play.
Yeah.
It was, but the whole game itself was just, you know, a really good display of elite women's basketball. As we're seeing today from one side of the story, where Townsville just have done no wrong in this game, really.
Yeah, totally agree. Two-way performance. Poch, great footwork. He's also really set the tone early. The game was there to be won with 10. Love combining these two. Inside, Lauren Cox won't get the call. Bongi, youngster for the Capitals, member of that under-19 Gem squad earlier this year that won silver against the USA at the FIBA Under-19 World Cup. I don't need any encouragement at Fire fans to get those cowbells ringing.
Certainly not.
They'll be loving life at home. They did as Olsen pulled into Frank Catazano. No call. Not to her feet from her teammates. Here's a better look at it.
I think a good no call.
Yeah, I
again.
do. I think her feet were definitely still moving. She was still coming across. So when you notch up this win to Townsville, they'll now be 6-1. That's virtually a third of the season already done.
Yeah.
You know, they played 21 games.
Yep.
So, you know, there you go, a third of the season. They are looking good.
In a great spot. They'll head away to Adelaide, as we noted, but then back at home after that. So they've got a nice run here at the Fire Pit where they can extend that lead top of the table. Entry pass, well placed, and they had no choice but to foul Froling. And Catazano stuck on an island. So Froling with 14 and 8. And Olsen from the corner.
Well, I think they're going to make their 100.
The time still ticking, you'd imagine. Picked away. Bursting into the open floor, Dakota Crichton. Youngster off the bench for Townsville. Bongi. Lates cutters. Sissoko tried to combine. Frank Catazano steps into a three.
I think for Canberra, Rach, this is a game where you go away and you know, I'm trying to think how Paul Goris would be thinking and feeling, but you go, this is an example of the best team in the competition, that this is where we have to get to, or we have to aim to get to. This is the best of the best. And
Lauren Cox has been assessed with the technical foul.
If that's her second, she might have to go to the change room early.
I think you're right, Rachel. She has indeed.
Well, we certainly
sent to the rooms.
Don't see that very often, a player actually ejected for technicals.
I don't think that would have ever happened to her in her career. She seems like a very usually chilled out player, so very unusual from her, but...
It's been a physical game that's tested the mettle of both sides.
Yeah.
Two to run here at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. Clark gets inside the keyway. Gritty move.
And Laurie, I think you were right. You know, Canberra will have to look at this Townsville team and go, they played amazing. This is the top A-grade standard of WNBL, and that's what they do need to be aiming for. And we saw them, you know, have a great game last week, but they've got to find a way to be consistent week in, week out. And Townsville are the perfect example of that.
Well, and the thing you always talk about is that you want the difference between your best game and your worst game you want to bring up the level of your worst game so it's not that bad, and then always, you know, ascend with your greatness. But right now, from last week to this week, and put it down to Townsville, but that's what they have to aspire to be playing at that level.
Hoops Fest not far away now, less than 2 months in WA. As Caitlin Van Ness fouls, make sure you get your tickets to get over to Perth and be a part of that one at RAC Arena. The answer, Allen Iverson heading to town as well. Super exciting, the NBL and WNBL all under the one roof for that weekend. One to come for Caitlin Van Ness. First points of the evening. Joins the scoring tally for the Fire.
Well, the fans are going to want to see them get over 100.
Potch. Carving through the keyway. And stepped on the line. Such an even spread tonight for Townsville. Woods 18, so are 14. Froling as well. Ellis, Fowler, Olsen all around that 15 mark. Single numbers. Tough take, good D that time, Babongi. Zara Russell, an opportunity for the Caps. Munga gets it to drop.
All right, one more opportunity to get the ton.
And they want it, absolutely.
The fans certainly want it.
On their feet here. Enjoy the evening at the fire pit. Forster inside, Van Ness fouls. Back to the spot.
The ref knew what the crowd wanted, that's for sure.
It's got to be a similar playlist up there at Townsville, doesn't it, Rachel?
Yeah.
Well, you caught my joke.
Absolutely.
Quite often. And Van Ness gets him there, 2 of 2. 101-60. Last chance for the Capitals. It's been a night for the ladder leaders. Nice pass inside from Potch. They are going to improve their situation, top of the table. Munga with 2 to come. It'll be 7 wins and 1 loss for the Fire, moving 2 games ahead of the Perth Lynx, pending tomorrow against the Bendigo Spirit. Could it be a chance for Burgers late? Townsville fans want it. Not to be. 40 points. They roll off another massive victory. And for the third time this season, Townsville breach 100 points here. The only side to do so in WNBL 26. 101-61. We are lost for words at the brilliance of this Townsville side.
We really are, and they came out, and that was a four-quarter performance from them, and just so professional, so ruthless the way they went about that. And, you know, Canberra at times didn't play too bad, but Townsville were just absolutely at their best and unstoppable.
Well, I think Gazy made this comment, and I agree completely, that anybody that stepped on the floor, any subs that were made, there was no drop in intensity, drop in what they wanted to do. It just kept steamrolling along.
I look forward to getting Chantel Horvat back as well at some stage. A number of weeks away, we believe. That'll be the last time these teams played, as you noted earlier, Laurie. She was the leading scorer for Townsville.
Well, you know, she's an injury replacement, but what a great player that she is, and hopefully we'll see her back on the court, because she brings just another dynamic to the Townsville Fire, as if they need any more right now.
They do have such riches across the floor, the Townsville Fire. Courtney Wood's happy with their side. And for the Capitals, they'll have to dust themselves off and go again. Back to earth after a resounding victory 7 days ago. And let's get down to Kate Gaze with the victors.
Sorry, Woody, I had to pull you away from your teammates there. It must be a fun feeling to have another 100-point game in front of your home fans.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when we can get all the young kids in at the end. I think we had 6 people in double digits, bit of spice and Cox to getting ejected, so some things to work on, but always good to have everyone get in and have a good game.
And just touching on that, all the girls that subbed into tonight's game, they came in with such confidence, and it must be so nice for you guys as leaders of this group to see them coming on so confidently. Does that speak volumes of your training?
Yeah, absolutely. I was literally saying on the bench, Katie went in and did so well. She's going against Alex Fowler every day in training, so she's so over that. So I think it just says how hard we go at each other in training, so the game's meant to be a little bit easier. But yeah, obviously a great game to have at home, so yeah.
And throughout this game, you were up by a lot early on. Shannon still keeps you guys accountable. He still coaches every play. How does that go out there?
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely part of playing for the Townsville Fire. It's like just when you start to get complacent, we get screamed at. So definitely at halftime, I think we're up 20, and he's like, not good enough, lock in. So it's kind of every possession trying to get better. We're trying to put a good 40 minutes together. I think that's the best we've done so far this year.
I would definitely agree. Great 40 minutes out there. Well done, Courtney, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks.
Courtney Woods led the way in scoring tonight for the Townsville Fire, and all of her 18 points came in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we saw her get off to such a great start, but she stays involved in other ways even when she's not scoring. But isn't that just the strength of the Townsville Fire? She came out, had 18 in the first half, and then doesn't need to score in the second, and they still win every quarter.
Stick around, we'll wrap it up after this short break. The Fire with a big victory here at home.
That's just our style.
In fact, we'll stay with you at the Townsville Fire. Alicia Froling is down there on the floor with Kate Gaze. We couldn't not get her thoughts. Kate.
Alicia Froling, you're back home in Townsville this season. You guys are off to a really special start. How do you love playing here?
Oh, it's so fun. You know, they made us wait for it, but this crowd's so awesome. Like, we can barely hear the whistle sometimes in here. Yeah, and it's just a really special group. Like, it's fun to play with.
And that game, we obviously won by a lot. You scored over 100 points. You wear teams down with the physicality. You make subs, you lose nothing. That must be nice to play, especially with how you play a physical game of basketball.
Yeah, I love physical basketball. Yeah, I think, like, you look at the squad, I don't know how many of us are in double figures. So I think it's just special. And I think every week it's like, okay, you take away our role, we have great three-point shooters. You take away that, we have people on the roll. So, you know, it doesn't always show up in stats necessarily, but I think it shows that we're a really good team and we play good team basketball. And looking forward, you play Adelaide, you go to Adelaide Tuesday, and then you have Southside back here at home. They're the only team that's beaten you. Do you look that far ahead, or are you just sticking to the next game right now, which is Adelaide?
Oh, I'm definitely focusing on Adelaide. You know, the Southside's always in the back of your head. But yeah, focusing on Adelaide. It's a quick turnaround, so that's our main focus.
Well, good luck, and we'll see you back here in a week's time.
Thank you.
As she said it there, Celicia Froling, moves and counter moves. That's what the Fire's got. I think she loves physical basketball.
I think she does, and having played a lot of physical basketball against Froling's plural, I can definitely vouch for that, and she just does it with such great poise, and yeah, she just loves the physicality, and it's great to see.
Abby Ellis is down there with Kate Gaze as well to continue hearing from these Townsville Fire Stars.
Abby, you guys play such a high intensity in your games, a really high level brand of basketball. Do you love chasing all the opposing guards out there and wearing them down all game?
You learn to love it. No, I think it comes down to practice. We practice hard, us guards go at each other, and then it reflects in the game, actually makes the games a bit more easier. But yeah, that's our brand of basketball. We love it. We love being physical and running around out there.
And it must be nice to know when you're bringing the ball down, you have so many options, scoring options all over the court. Are you enjoying this team, and what sort of changes have you made from last year to this year?
Yeah, it's a fun brand of basketball. Obviously, we have scorers all over the floor, shooters, drivers, you name it. We trust everyone with the ball, and that's the main thing, you know. We trust everyone to go score and play their role. And each game's different, but you look at our scoreboard, everyone's sharing the ball really well, and yeah, it's really fun to play.
And in the off-season, you were part of the Opals group, went away. We've got some great Aussie talent this season in the WNBL in the point guard position. Surely you have some confidence after how you're playing this season to continue to be part of that Opals group. Is that something you think about each week?
I mean, you think about it, but you just want to be with your team and be with your teammates and win. We're focusing on WNBL season right now and winning, and you know, you just want to play your best, put 100% effort out there. But yeah, it's such a strong competition. Opals is just, you know, it's an honour to be an Opal. But yeah, keep pushing every game and 100% effort.
Well, you're doing a wonderful job. Good luck for the rest of the season, and we'll see you back here next week.
Thank you.
Abby Ellis there. It is such an even scoring spread for this Townsville Fire unit. We'll take a short break and then wrap it all up here to finish off our WNBL doubleheader on a Saturday. The Fire win this one by 40. performance tonight for the Townsville Fire. A victory over the UC Capitals to the tune of 101-61 in front of their adoring Fire faithful, loving life here at home at the Fire Pit after an extended run on the road to start WNBL26. Here's your full match stats, and once again, it is such efficiency from the Townsville Fire.
It really is, and we saw it from the get-go in this game, and they just did not let up for the full 4 quarters, and it came through. They just found each other on those open shots, and they just get the right shots. That's why their shooting percentage is so high.
Might be the most complete performance maybe for Townsville this season. It's hard to pick them, but it's up there, Laurie.
I think so too, and the 40 minutes, the defense that they put was just smothering on Canberra. They couldn't get very many shots up, and they really said, we are the top of the ladder for a reason.
They sure are. The Bunnings ladder, they're sitting pretty. They'll improve to 7 wins off the back of this one. And then tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. is the tip between the Bendigo Spirit and the Perth Lynx. 250 games notched up for both Mariana Tolo and Kelsey Griffin. This one is going to be a ton of fun.
It really is, and both of these teams will be looking for a win against each other, trying to get that, that ascendancy over one another. And yeah, just hats off to Mariana Tolo and Kelsey Griffin, just 2 absolute competitors of our league and just legends of the game.
Congratulations to the Townsville Fire tonight, getting the job done emphatically. 40 points. Liam Ellison, Rachel Jarry, Laurie Chiswick and Kate Gaze courtside. Thank you very much for joining us tonight for this WNBL double header.